कर चलना कि जब तक रात बाकी है संभल कर हर कदम रखना कि जब तक रात बाकी है मशाले लेकर चलना।
जो ये गुजरात के अंदर जो प्लांट लगा हुआ है वहां पे भी हम जाएंगे साथियों, ये एकदम साफ है। मारुति सुजुकी अस्थायी मजदूर संघ के जो साथी मारुति के जहां प्लांट है हम हर जगह पे जाएंगे, हर जगह पे इंटरफेयर करेंगे जब तक जो है इन साथियों को जो है इनके साथ जो धोखा हुआ है, जो गलत हुआ है, जब तक इनको न्याय नहीं मिलेगा, जब तक इनको जो है स्थायी रोजगार नहीं दिया जाएगा, ये लड़ाई जारी रहेगी और जारी है साथियों।
In 2012, the historic struggle of workers at Maruti Suzuki's Manesar plant, around 50 kilometers from India's capital Delhi, was violently suppressed following an incident that continues to cast a shadow over India's labour movement. Hundreds were terminated following the incident. After 12 years, Maruti workers hit the streets again in 2024 as the election season heated up in Haryana. Over 1,000 terminated and precariously employed workers launched a renewed protest near the Manesar plant, demanding reinstatement. This plant was their battleground for unionization, better wages and working conditions in the early 2010s. Between 2012 and 2024, the workers' struggle continued in courtrooms and community care, while some went looking for livelihoods elsewhere. The contractual workers say Maruti uses their labour in their prime years and then terminates them, leaving them scrambling for a livelihood. This is rooted in the demands that mobilized the Maruti workers of the Manesar plant in 2011 and 12.
असल में मैनेजमेंट की एक गलती होती है, वो वर्कर को कुछ गिनते नहीं है। उन्हें लगता है कि कल तक हमारे सामने जो बोलते नहीं थे वो आज भी ऐसे ही हैं और हम उनको जो है दबा ले जाएंगे। तो उन्होंने वर्करों से प्लान पेपर पे साइन कराना शुरू किया। उसके विरोध में वर्कर जो है सिट इन स्ट्राइक पे चले गए 4 जून को। और मैनेजमेंट के लिए ये जो 13 दिन की जून की सिट इन स्ट्राइक थी 2011 में, उसने वर्कर का जो कॉन्फिडेंस पैदा किया था, एक तरीके से वर्कर का प्लांट पे प्रभुत्व था। मतलब 4 जून 2011 के बाद वर्कर प्रभुत्व था, प्रोडक्शन सारा कुछ नॉर्मल हो रहा था, मैनेजमेंट और बाकी लोगों का भय जो है वर्करों में वो सब खत्म हो चुका था और वर्कर अपने फुल कॉन्फिडेंस के साथ काम कर रहे थे। वहीं से उन्होंने शुरू किया कि अब इनको सबक सिखाना है। सबक अब यूनियन का नहीं है, ये बोलता था वो सिद्दीकी था मारुति का मैनेजर, बोलता था कि 600 गंध है, दुर्गंध जो है फैक्ट्री में है उसको बाहर करना है, और वो 600 दुर्गंध है उसको बाहर करने के लिए अब वो प्लानिंग कर रहा है मैनेजमेंट। वर्कर की तो यूनियन बन गई, यूनिटी बन गई तो यूनियन भी बन गई, वो तो अपनी यूनिटी के साथ जो है सारी चीजों कर रहे हैं। लेकिन रजिस्ट्रेशन का एक दिमाग में था उनके, रजिस्ट्रेशन आ जाएगा तो वो रजिस्ट्रेशन तो उनको ऐसे लगता था कि पता नहीं हमारा सारा कुछ जो है हमको मिल ही जाएगा, समाजवाद आ जाएगा, कुछ इस टाइप का आ जाएगा। तो अंततः मैनेजमेंट को रजिस्ट्रेशन भी देना पड़ता है, और रजिस्ट्रेशन देने के बाद भी भाई परमानेंट कॉन्ट्रैक्ट की यूनिटी वाला जो सवाल था वो जो का तो था, डिमांड नोटिस पे पहली डिमांड थी। और जब उस डिमांड को उठा के वर्कर ने रखना शुरू किया तब मैनेजमेंट को लग रहा था अब ये एक लीडरशिप को तो बाहर कर चुके हैं हम 28 लोगों को। अब जो नई लीडरशिप थी, वर्कर भी जो है थोड़ा सतर्क था, डरा हुआ भी था कि हमारे पुराने नेता तो डर के चले गए या पैसे लेके चले गए, ये नए वाले भी ना ऐसा करे। तो वर्कर भी बहुत अलर्ट था, वर्कर अलर्ट था, उधर से मैनेजमेंट जो है वो अलर्ट थी कि हमें इनको निकालना है। उसी प्रोसेस का एक फॉर्म ये जो है मामला हुआ 18 जुलाई का एक्सीडेंट।
Maruti Suzuki's Manesar plant began production in 2007 and became known for unprecedented solidarity between permanent and non-permanent workers from 2011 to 12. Following the management's opposition to the joint union, an unexpected violence took place. On July 18, 2012, a clash at the Manesar plant led to the death of HR manager Avanish Kumar Dev and injuries to around 100 staff members. The unrest, reportedly sparked by a scuffle between a worker and a supervisor, also led to halted production.
The workers say the management hired bouncers who were responsible for the violence. But the management says a worker was suspended after he slapped the supervisor, and that led to the clashes.
जब ये घटना घट जाती है ना 18 जुलाई को, तो ये एक बड़ा संकट हमारे सामने आया कि हम हमारे परिवार के लोगों को भी नहीं समझा पा रहे हैं, क्योंकि हमारे खिलाफ में इतना स्ट्रॉन्ग कैंपेन था कि बहुत ही स्ट्रॉन्ग कैंपेन था। वो चीज जो है, हमें हमारे घर वालों को समझाने में भी जो है 2-3 साल लग गए कि हमने कुछ गलत नहीं किया है। ये भी हमारे सामने एक बड़ा वो था, क्योंकि ये कंपनी दिखाती है और हम भी छुपाते थे ये चीजें अपने यार दोस्तों से, रिश्तेदारों से, कि कंपनी में वास्तव में होता क्या है। कि इसको पूरे मामले को ऐसे दिखाया गया कि ये जो है मजदूर, ये मजदूर है नहीं, ये कोई आतंकवादी है। हमने पहले जो है 18 जुलाई से पहले प्लांट के अंदर भी, प्लांट के बाहर भी, ठीक, हमने बहुत सारे धरने किए, बहुत सारी स्ट्राइकें भी की, लेकिन कोई किसी प्रकार का वायलेंस नहीं हुआ। लेकिन 18 जुलाई को क्या किया, मैनेजमेंट ने ये देखा कि तो कामयाब नहीं हो पा रहे हैं हम इनकी एकता तोड़ने में, और उस टाइम पे हमारा सीओडी दे रखा था मैनेजमेंट को, और हमारी लीडरशिप जो मांग करी थी वो ये करी थी कि ठेका प्रथा को खत्म किया जाए, सीनियरिटी लागू करके इनको परमानेंट किया जाए। और उसी के ऊपर मैनेजमेंट ये करे थी कि ये जो वर्कर हैं ये तो आपके उसमें नहीं आते हैं, यूनियन का हिस्सा नहीं है, ठीक है। अब हमने जो सबने मिलकर हमारा संगठन बनाया है, ये वर्कर मारुति कंपनी में काम करते हैं, तो क्यों नहीं इसका हिस्सा। तो इसके ऊपर पूरा का पूरा बहस चल रहा था, मैनेजमेंट मानने के लिए तैयार नहीं थी, और यूनियन भी सिंपल ये था कि पहले बात इसके ऊपर होगी तो ठीक है, नहीं तो हम बाकी मुद्दों पे बात नहीं करेंगे। उसके अंदर फिर ये हुआ कि कंपनी ने, हमारा जो साथी था जियालाल, 18 तारीख को सुबह जो है ए शिफ्ट थी, ए शिफ्ट में जो है उसको जब टी ब्रेक था तो सुपरवाइजर ने बोला कि आपकी गाड़ी में कोई फॉल्ट गया है, उसको जाके रिपेयर करके आओ। जियालाल ने बस इतना बोला था कि हम जो है अभी ये हमारा ये टी ब्रेक है, अभी इसमें हम चाय पियेंगे, टी ब्रेक के बाद में मैं जाके गाड़ी को ठीक कर दूंगा, अभी मेरे को चाय पीने दो। तो सुपरवाइजर ने उसको असेंबली लाइन पे, जी हाँ, तो उसको सुपरवाइजर ने गाली गलौज किया, गाली गलौज करके, और फिर उसके बाद में जो है वहाँ पे जो और वर्कर थे उन्होंने आपस में बातचीत करके उस मामले को शांत कर दिया था। लेकिन मैनेजमेंट को कहीं ना कहीं से पता चल गया, तो मैनेजमेंट ने जो है सुपरवाइजर को ऊपर में बुला लिया, संग्राम माझी को एचआर में बुलाया, एचआर में बुला, संग्राम माझी सुपरवाइजर था जियालाल का। उसके बाद में ये हुआ कि संग्राम माझी को छुट्टी पे भेज दिया, घर भेज दिया प्लांट से, और जियालाल को सस्पेंड कर दिया बिना कोई जांच के, कुछ भी नहीं, कोई बातचीत तक नहीं हुआ, उसी वक्त सस्पेंड कर दिया। और फिर जियालाल को पता चला कि तेरे को सस्पेंड कर दिया तो तुम्हें बाहर जाना पड़ेगा कंपनी से अभी। तो जियालाल ने फिर यूनियन को बताया, जी मेरे साथ ऐसा ऐसा हो गया। यूनियन आई, यूनियन ने बातचीत किया, भाई ये क्या मतलब हुआ कि आप सुपरवाइजर को भी बुला लो, जियालाल को भी बुला लो, आप भी बैठे हैं और यूनियन बैठ के बात करेंगे क्या मामला सर, इसको सोल्व करते हैं। तो कोई बड़ी बात है नहीं इसमें, तो इतना बात था। कुल मिला के जिस तरह की एकता बन चुकी थी वहां पे, मैनेजमेंट के पास में और कोई रास्ता नहीं था। उसने जो था, हमारा जो डिस्प्यूट था वो लेबर डिस्प्यूट था, और लेबर डिस्प्यूट को क्रिमिनल डिस्प्यूट में तब्दील कर दिया 18 जुलाई 2012 को।
In 2024, on September 18th, a group of terminated Maruti Suzuki workers began an indefinite sit-in at an open park near Manesar Tehsil. Their primary demand was simple yet powerful: the reinstatement of 117 workers who were acquitted in the 2012 incident. They have been fighting for justice for over 12 years as the company refuses to take them back. Many have scattered into other informal work to support their families.
दिक्कत तो ऐसे है कि बहुत दिक्कतें हैं, मजबूरी भी है, क्योंकि घर परिवार में क्या है कि पिताजी है खाली कमाने वाले, भाई है, दादी है, जैसे कि बड़ा परिवार है, तो हमारे को भी दिक्कत होती है। बीवी बच्चे हैं तो उनको पालने के लिए हमारे को, जब कंपनी में आए थे तब तो ठीक ठाक थे कि एक सैलरी थी कि 24,000-25,000 रुपये महीना हुआ और आ जाता है। उसके बाद कंपनी से निकालने के बाद में हमारी हालत ऐसी हो गई थी कि ये पैसा कहाँ से आएगा।
Also, when they are leaving, they're given a certificate, and the certificate has no value in the market. No automobile company. In fact, workers tell me that the certificate, the experience they gain in Honda company is respected in the market. But when they go and tell them that we have 6 months experience or 2 years experience in working for the Maruti company, they say, okay, tell us something else. And don't show us their certificates, we don't recognize it. So that has been terrible.
Despite having legal permission to protest within 500 meters of the factory gate, authorities consistently blocked their path, forcing them to remain kilometers away from their former workplace. Now it is also a workers' protest for the right to be able to protest.
What happened was, after the acquittal, these people went to labor court to say, okay, now we must be given our jobs back because we have been dismissed unfairly, summarily, They had not even been given the report of the domestic inquiry that the company had conducted. It seems that they were exonerated even in that, but nobody was given their jobs back. This was like 2,000 people, over 2,000 people who had been thrown out. So they realized that since the labor court is not passing any verdict, they're not getting any jobs, they decided, because this was election season, and they thought this is the right time to pressurize politicians to talk to them, and it was election season in Haryana. What happened was there was a wage settlement. Every 3 years in the factory they have a wage settlement with the union. And when the wage settlement news reached them, they realized that nothing had been, the contractual workers had got nothing in the wage settlement. And they were a little upset, I mean more than a little upset. They said contractual workers are also employees, and they're actually majority employees, okay? The majority is contractual employees. So their demands ought to have been raised and considered. Now, since it was fixed term employment, a lot of people had already left. They were leaving, and one would be employed in Jan and would have to leave by August. The other would be employed in March, would have to leave by October, things like that. So there were people who were leaving or had left only 15 days ago or left 3 months ago, and they were coming back to see whether they can find another contractual fixed term employment. They were surprised that 3,500 people landed up. That is, in that meeting, there and then, they decided to form a non-permanent employees union, which means that the struggle expanded. Yes, from being confined to people who had been convicted or acquitted, people who had been employed earlier in Maruti and were now finding it very difficult to meet their expenses. And it has expanded to people who worked for Maruti and have been, like one of those speakers said, Maruti is using the use and throw policy. They use our youth, our energy levels, and then they throw us out. 7 months, maybe they'll employ them again for 3 months, 6 months later. So this is a very destabilizing kind of a life in which you cannot even decide which school to send your children to.
The Maruti workers' movement gained massive momentum in January 2025 when thousands of other terminated Maruti workers joined forces to get employed at the upcoming Kharkhoda plant in the Sonipat district. They have asked for preferential appointments at the plant, which will be one of the biggest manufacturing units in the country.
जब हमने काम कर रखा है, एक्सपीरियंस हमारा, तो हमें भर्ती करो ना जी। कोई हमारे साथी राजस्थान से हैं, लगा लो पंजाब से हैं, हरियाणा से है, काफी बिहार से हैं, इतनी दूर दूर अदर स्टेट से काम करने आते हैं, 1 साल लगाती है अपने कीमती। उसके बावजूद भी मारुति कार प्लांट की मैनेजमेंट है, वो तो उन्होंने बस यही काम करना, अपना प्रोडक्शन पूरा करवाया भाई, फिर बाहर कर दिया, लात मार दी। हम कहीं के नहीं छोड़ते हो। मेरे हाथ में ये कागज है, कागज कोरा कागज बन के रह गया। ये मेरा एक्सपीरियंस है 7 साल का। मैंने ITI करके नोएडा कार प्लांट में भी काम किया जी, होंडा CL में। फिर उसके बाद मारुति में काम किया है 2 साल, हीरो बाइक प्लांट में काम किया है। ऐसे ही धक्के खाते फिर रहे हैं जी, क्योंकि रोजगार कहीं परमानेंट दिया नहीं है। और आज इसलिए जंतर मंतर पे इकट्ठे हुए हैं भाई, हमारे अस्थायी मजदूरों को स्थायी रोजगार दिया जाए, और जो हमारे टर्मिनेट साथी है इनको भी वापस लिया जाए। हम कब दर दर की ठोकर खाते रहेंगे।
और वहाँ पर क्या वो एक बोलते कि काम करने के बाद में जो क्षमता रहती है ना, वो खत्म हो जाती है हमारी, क्योंकि 18 से 26 साल की एज लेती है मारुति। तो वो एज के अंदर हमारी ओवरेज हो जाती है, क्योंकि सारा समय तो हमने मारुति में कर दिया, और उसके बाद में दूसरी कंपनी में भी जॉब नहीं कर सकते ना। और प्राइवेट और सरकारी गवर्नमेंट जॉब भी हम नहीं कर सकते। गवर्नमेंट की तैयारी करें तो वैसे ओवरेज हो गए, तो गवर्नमेंट की भी तैयारी नहीं कर सकते हम।
To understand the significance of today's struggle, we must go back a decade. That's when Maruti workers initiated an unprecedented movement that would change the landscape of labor relations in India. Their newly formed union had submitted a charter of demands on March 1st, 2012 with an unusual priority: regularization of all non-permanent employees.
परमानेंट कॉन्ट्रैक्ट की यूनिटी का ये सवाल जो है, पूरे गुड़गांव से लेके NCR में जितने भी आंदोलन हुए यूनियन बनने के, उन सब में जो है आंदोलन के दौरान ये यूनिटी रही है, और निगोशिएशन के बाद यूनिटी बिखर गई है। अब यूनियन का जो मामला था वो ये था कि कलेक्टिव बार्गेनिंग। अब कलेक्टिव बार्गेनिंग कौन करेगा? पता चला कि प्लांट में टोटल वर्कर अगर 3000 है तो 20% परमानेंट है। तो 20% परमानेंट अगर यूनिट बना भी लेंगे तो कलेक्टिव बार्गेनिंग का मतलब तो आपको थ्रेट देना पड़ेगा कि हम प्रोडक्शन हाल्ट कर देंगे। भाई हड़ताल तो एक आर्थिक संघर्ष का बड़ा औजार था, बड़ा मतलब जो है बड़ी फार्म थी। अब वो फार्म जो है वर्कर के हाथ से छीन ली, क्योंकि वर्कर को परमानेंट कॉन्ट्रैक्ट में बना दिया, बांट दिया, और यूनियन जो है केवल परमानेंट की होगी। तो केवल परमानेंट की यूनियन होगी तो फिर कॉन्ट्रैक्ट वर्कर को आप कुछ भी नहीं करेंगे।
I must say that Maruti picked up this problem from day one, bringing the permanent and the temporary workers together.
The union, you mean?
The union bringing the temporary and permanent workers together. Yes. See, now the situation for the Indian working class everywhere is such that the permanent workers who still have the protection of law until the time when the labor codes come are a small minority. They have almost been catapulted into a different class from the contract workers, but the difference is so stark. You know, and they will be having their wage revisions, they might be having housing, they might be having, you know, all the allowances and everything, you know, bonus and all that. And the contract workers who have now become the majority, and in fact the permanent workers are usually supervising those workers, they have nothing at all. So the situation for the permanent workers is they're so small a minority, they really cannot make any impact even if they go on strike or if they have any industrial action. The contract workers on the other hand have many issues to agitate, but their situation is so precarious that they can't afford to agitate because they'll be thrown out. And actually the only solution is the coming together of these two sections. This present move of having an Asthai Kamgar Sangathan, Maruti Asthai Kamgar Sangathan, is, I think, one of the most remarkable things. Because basically what they're saying is what the Bhilai workers whom we fought for in 1992, उनके दो ही नारे थे, एक था जीने लायक वेतन और दूसरा था स्थायी उद्योग में स्थायी मजदूर. That means living wage and permanent workers in a permanent industry. So if an industry is permanent, you have to have permanent workers. It's logical. This is exactly what the Maruti workers are saying today in 2025. How many years down the line, just think.
In the aftermath of 2012, Maruti Suzuki restructured its labor practices by expanding the use of temporary workers, contract laborers, and apprentices through a tiered system that's designed to create a fragmented workforce. The Modi government's labor codes, passed during the pandemic, further weakened workers' collective bargaining power and eased the hiring and firing processes by companies. Not surprisingly, factory workers still continue to face exploitation and precarious employment conditions.
The proposed new labor codes, which the government has already passed and with barely any debate, and the only thing which is holding up the coming of the labor codes is the fact that the states have not made rules, and so far labor is a state subject, and some of the states have, some haven't, whatever. But in those labor codes, what is being proposed is fixed term contract. Now this is exactly, so in a way they're going to abolish permanent workers altogether.
I see.
And what the Maruti workers are saying is just the opposite.
Maruti Suzuki as a factory happens to be one of the most developed, advanced means of production it has. And the workers there are working there in a very organized and very disciplined fashion. They have been doing it for since about 2007 at Manesar, and earlier than that at Gurgaon. And they have now 3 plants running at full capacity. The third one at Mehsana in Gujarat, and the 4th plant at Kharkhoda, that's in Sonipat district of Haryana, which has already started rolling out cars, in fact. And construction is still going on, the civil work and all the other ancillary industries, the various components of the car that are produced in different factories, all allied to Maruti Suzuki and outsourced by Maruti Suzuki to different companies. So the entire setup is now being built at Kharkhoda on the similar lines as in Manesar, in fact. But of course, there's going to be a new addition there. Electric cars are expected to roll out from there very soon. So there's an expectation, there has been an expectation amongst the workers that have been terminated at the time of the incident that occurred in 2012. And after that, over the last 10-12 years, various categories of temporary workers, contractual workers, and so many other different variations of fixed term employment. So all these thousands of workers, as we have shown in this particular program, they have turned up and they have their aspirations for the jobs that are available in Kharkhoda. Those aspirations have been running high. So they have all turned up to Manesar and joined the struggle along with the 117 terminated workers. So they tried to pitch up some kind of a protest site at Kharkhoda, but the moment they landed in Kharkhoda, within minutes they were all picked up, some from the highways itself and some from within the city. So after that, now the movement for the last nearly about 3 weeks is in a sort of from the surface you feel that it's going through a standstill. But of course, this movement has been very resilient right since 2000. In fact, the struggle is still going on as it was going on since 2012 and until they came out into the streets again. And in that period also there have been various strong kinds of movements within Haryana and also within Delhi. They've had a rally from Kaithal to Jantar Mantar in 2013 or 14 when there was a Congress government in Haryana, and in 13 it was when there was a lathi charge. Industry Minister Surjewala was the person that they had demonstrated against at Kaithal, and then they were lathi charged on 13th May because the government was not prepared to pay heed to their demands. The demands were only two, that all the terminated workers who are not involved in any incident should be taken back and the people in the jail should have been released. But of course, over the period of time, those who are in jail have been released on bail. So now there's just a single demand now to reinstate all the people which were wrongfully terminated. It's very clear that the government, whatever party it may be, it is not going to stop, taking one-sided approach into the matter. Whichever party leads the government, and the police, the courts, everybody is now. It's very clear that they are supporting the management and the company, Suzuki Motor Corporation, which controls this factory. It is a foreign corporation certainly, and this is the age of, it was called globalization, but actually it's not India going global, but global companies, multinationals coming to India and absorbing all the positives of our country, all the resources of our country, all the means of production of our country, the labor of our country, the cheap labor, that it was cheap for them. So they have all come and captured all these resources in India. So every court, every political party, every wing of the state is in favor of these foreign companies, whoever they are, and the workers are deprived of the basic hope that they had from the laws that were made earlier in a very different age, when there was hope from an independent India for a welfare state. So all those laws are now abandoned. They have been reversed entirely in the shape of the new 4 labor codes that have come into existence. The codes, as one of our respondents has said, that it all depends on which state really frames the rules for those codes. But those codes mean just simply that all the independent unions, the right to form independent unions has been withdrawn. The management is going to decide, it is going to have a big say in which union would be recognized, and the labor departments are also going to be biased towards the management. That is the essence of one of the labor codes. The other essence is that the system of hire and fire, that is contract workers, this is going to be the rule rather than the exception. So the government has laid out the red carpet to the big profit-making companies by denying the basic rights to the workers, the basic stability of jobs, basic security of life has been denied, and so on and so forth. Even all the environmental factors, the various provisions that were there to inspect the premises of the industry, the labor departments, labor inspectors would go and have independent investigations. But now the labor codes have have prevented the labor officers also from exercising any kind of independence. They are going to be at the mercy of the management. The management will decide. It's like, you know, India, when it goes to the United Nations, it doesn't allow the United Nations for total independence to examine whether rights are violated in India or not. So similarly, the labor inspector is not going to have his independence to examine whether safety precautions and environmental factors and all the risks factors are taken care of or not. No, there can be no independence for a labor department, labor inspector. So this is now total capital Raj. I mean, the capital is going to rule without any constraint. So this is we are headed towards a new kind of a situation where the people at large, the producers, the people who are actually producing value, and the wages that they get for the value that they create, there's a huge disparity between them. There's also a huge disparity between their wages and the wages of the managers, the CEOs. I mean, it's absolutely unimaginable, the disparity. So this kind of a system that has come about, it raises very, very serious questions on the character of the system that we are working in, that we are living in. Do we have any scope in the system to gain our rights in a very lawful manner or not, is a very big question hanging in front of us. So whether we will be able to, whether the workers will be able to find a way out on their own. Even earlier, there have been struggles in different factories all over the country, and there have been isolated struggles which couldn't go on because there was no broader unity, the solidarity, collectives not being developed. And now in such a situation where all the dice is cast against the people who are actually working and producing with their labor and with their hard work, so I see nothing, no guarantee for justice to be delivered to them in the present situation. So this is
अंधेरे की अदालत में है क्या फरियाद का फायदा, तू कर संग्राम ऐसा थी कि जब तक रात बाकी है मशाले लेकर चलना, मशाले लेकर चलना कि जब तक रात बाकी है, संभल कर हर कदम रखना कि जब तक रात बाकी है मशाले लेकर चलना।